Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the Rostermania that's been going on in the scene. I'm sure everybody's aware by now. There was a little bit of a mix-up. It's getting crazy out there. Probably the craziest year of Rostermania we've seen yet. But yeah, to talk about it, we had FaZe, who got second at DreamHack Dallas in the HCS, and surprisingly took out Shopify. Unfortunately lost to Optic. Pretty much got mollywopped around in the grand finals. I don't know what happened. I know Trippy was eating some Cheez-Its and having himself a good time. Everybody else was not. And afterwards, shit just kind of like let loose. There were some behind-the-scenes talks. We knew that SSG hasn't been playing well, but this was their best performance yet, almost taking Optic completely out of the tournament in a Game 5 with a 10-kill lead. But unfortunately, Optic came back. I was hoping they would beat Optic. Didn't happen. But out of that, we could see that this team wasn't performing to their standard. They weren't doing very well in line and scrims, nor in any of the opens. And apparently, from what Stellar had said, they were watching too much Vi. They really couldn't figure it out because they were overthinking, he thought. And so, he didn't really get to play his play style. And, Lucid, on the other hand, had his own kind of system, and Snakebite was trying to fit that system, it seemed like. So, I really think this team could have worked. It was good on paper. Obviously, everybody knew that. It was good on paper. But 3 IGLs in one game, being Snakebite, Lucid, Eco, just doesn't always mesh well. Lucid's wanting to bring what he likes to do to the table. Snakebite, I feel like, was just that kind of guy that obviously everybody, knows he's very professional in his the way he approaches things. And so, he was probably going to fit in no matter what. Like, he obviously didn't have the greatest time on Space Station, but he was the one player that could really just kind of be the glue. I felt like what really needed to happen with that team was Lucid needed to take a seat back as an IGL and play his game, being aggressive and playing fast and playing slow when he needed to, and let Eco be the shot caller. That was my take on it, but that didn't work out. But those two, Snakebite and Lucid being those, left Space Station, obviously, as we know, and now they are on FaZe, which is not officially announced, but they've been playing. They played in the last Open, did very well, got to the grand finals, I believe, and then they lost to 007, which that was a great team. That was a great team with Legend, Frosty, Cycle, and I think, who was it? Who was the other player? Collect, yeah. They were absolutely just dominating that tournament. So, but they're looking better. They're looking a lot better, and Space Station started to look a lot better as well. They picked up Fallicated and Suppressed, who had left FaZe. We heard about the drama from APG stream with, the talks between Trippy and Lucid joining back together and bringing over Snakebite and swapping them two out. And I guess Suppressed didn't take that news very well. He didn't get the memo from his teammates directly. Kind of found out through a third party, but that is what it is. It happens, and people need to be more professional in the scene, and just be straightforward with your teammates. You're gonna have teammates. You just need to be truthful in the most respectful way possible, and try not to stir up too much shit, because everybody's a family here, man. We're trying to all be friends and be cool with each other, and they'll eventually get over it, I'm sure, as dudes always do. But I think the scene needs to see a little bit more of courtesy, of letting your teammates know what's going on, with your thoughts and the rest of the team's thoughts. So, that is what it is. Moving on, though. I think we did see a little bit of a shakeup. Envy picked up a couple of new players as well. From the last tournament, they did very well at the DreamHack Dallas. I don't actually think they've swapped since then because they did so well. And then TSM, obviously, they kind of changed things up. They dropped Cherished for Manny. They had a great performance at DreamHack, getting, I believe it was it fourth or third? I can't, dude. My mind is just like totally gone. But they did place very well. So great stuff out of them. Hope to see them in that top 4 range, if not pushing for a top 3 or a top 2. Making a grand finals appearance. I would love to see that team succeed. But Sundays are a different beast. Let's just see how they do, and hopefully they can perform. Envy's like that other team that I really want to see break into the top 4. They got top 6 at this event. I think that's the highest placing yet for Piggy and Co. And so that was great to see. I love Piggy. I know him personally. He's an awesome dude. And, you know, he's got a great team behind him, and he picked a good roster. So I'm sure he wasn't the only one picking that roster. But, hey, they got it. They got what they need to succeed. They just need to stay confident on you know, Saturday and Sunday and play through those days, you know, confidently, and they could probably get further, and I'm sure they will. They'll figure it out. We can all hope, right? I'm trying to think of any other Rostermania that happened. I know that we saw Jimbo step down. He was originally not going to compete. He was wanting to be the coach for Z10, but now he's going to be like a content creator, looking to move to the United States. To do some coaching possibly for some North American teams, as well as continue to be a content creator for Z10. And then in his place, Bastos stepped up. I've played against this guy. He's absolutely cracked. Great player. I think he'll fit in well, very well with that team. Obviously, they just won the Open this weekend for the first Salt Lake Road to Salt Lake City Open #1. They took that one. I believe that's their first win online of the year. And, yeah, well, hopefully we can see them. I don't think they had too much of a good showing at DreamHack, unfortunately. But, you know, Jimbo's, I think, lost that passion to compete, and so that could have been a factor. You know, I know how that feels being a competitor myself. You know, there's some days your heart's not in it, man. You know, you play this game day in and day out, and, you know, it's not always there. So would love to see that team bounce back, you know. And then, obviously, we got Nemesis. There's talks of maybe Woodham coming over to Gen G. He's been kind of dabbling with some mysterious tweets. And I don't know. I think Nemesis is going to keep him personally. I don't see why they would want to drop him. I heard his buyout is pretty high. I don't know what that number is, but I'm guessing it's 6 figures. And, yeah, but I really hope they stick together, because Nemesis was one of those Dark Horse squads that I absolutely love. Can't wait to buy some merch. And I want to make some stickers of them. If you see my stickers last year, I had the little HCS shield, and it had the team logos behind the Spartan. So I might be getting one of those made up for them. TSM's Shopify and Complexity, because they got their OG logo back. So look out for me at Worlds, you know. Might have some stickers and some others. Might have some troll stickers. You know me, I like my troll stickers. I got a couple of those cooking up too. But yeah, that's going to conclude this. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you're watching, I appreciate it. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff, you know. And I'm going to try to keep these a little bit more regularly through the coming months. And I haven't made a content like this in a number of years, so, you know, make sure you stick around. I'm going to be talking about other things in the Halo scene. You know, the game, the tournaments, the league, you know, and stuff like that. And so appreciate y'all guys. Take it easy. Peace.